What's up, guys? Welcome back. Something a little bit different, I know. They're not K cars. What? Bro, what are you doing? You don't have a K car. Yeah, so I imported these two DAYZ wagons probably 2 months ago ish. So if you've been following me for a while, you know that all I do and all I own are a bunch of K cars, which I love K cars. They are so much fun. They are the greatest thing since glow plates from Japan. But if I'm going on long drives, so we're in Washington, and Washington is full of places to adventure, but I live kind of away from some of those places to adventure, and driving a K car on the freeway for long periods of time is not, it's not really a way I want to spend half my day getting to a destination, which is totally cool. If that's how you like to roll, do it. I can only handle so much of screaming engine, which, again, don't take that the wrong way. I love my K cars, but I just wanted something a little quicker and obviously normal that could handle freeway speeds. And since I've always been a fan of wagons, the first wagon I can remember was the Volkswagen Squareback, which was like a wagon essentially. I think it was a Squareback. Throw a surfboard on it. That thing was sick. Just wagons have always been super cool. Wagons and vans. It seemed like everybody was like, oh, jumping on the wagon bandwagon in the past like year. So it's like, you know what? Let's try to find a cool wagon. And I remember seeing Nissan Stageas, my black Nissan Stagea over there, years and years and years ago. And I just thought to myself, there's no way I'll ever own a Nissan Stagea. Like, it's almost a Skyline. Like, they've got to be so expensive and just impossible to get. And it is completely the opposite. And since these are just now being imported to the US because they're 2000s, so these are very new to the States, this body style anyways, the Crown athletes are also extremely gorgeous wagons. And I was like, you know what? I shouldn't say how much I got these things for because it's just ridiculous. But let's just say I got them both for less than a K car. So I couldn't not get them. It just made sense. And that way I could have both wagons and be like, hey, which one do I like better? Which one is the GOAT, essentially. But I've actually fallen in love with both. So I can't just, because, original plans, let's buy one and then sell it and keep the other one. But I love them both for different reasons. And so, yeah, I thought I would just kind of go over the Toyota Crown Athlete G. So this is the naturally aspirated 2JZ inline 6. And the Nissan Stagea RS4, which has the RB25 DET, which comes in the R33 or R34 Skyline. Very fast, very fun, all-wheel drive, just amazing. And being all-wheel drive, it's great for when it gets really crummy weather up here in Washington. Athlete G is only rear-wheel drive, so not like I'm taking this thing anywhere. I've lowered it quite a bit, but you just have the all-wheel drive factor, which is really nice on the Nissan Stagea. But yeah, I'm using my Hello Kitty LED lamp flashlight. Here, let's get a close-up real quick. Yeah, it's an LED flasher light for your, kind of like the flare that you put in your JDM car. I got them on my website. So let's kind of go over the differences if you're trying to, maybe you're just new here and you don't even own a K car and you're trying to decide between a K and a full size. Obviously the factor of it being a normal car, it's way better for long distance driving comfortably. Obviously you can drive these K cars across the United States, but again, this is a night and day difference between a K car and a full size, obviously. Just comfortability wise of driving long periods of time. But essentially what attracted me to the Toyota Crown and the Stagea is obviously the wagon aspect, but they're just full-size cars with powerful engines, which is just so cool because it's kind of like a family wagon, but with like an engine with a ton of capabilities to just produce insane amounts of horsepower. At least, coming from me saying K cars have like 43 horsepower, this is already insane comparably. Obviously not compared to other cars, but if we're going from K cars to full size, like, you can just get nasty with these things. They're so much fun. So the Toyota Crown was just cool because this was the new body style for 2000. So the grill, I mean, the grill in itself is just like artwork. I mean, the mesh, the crown, the athlete where it's kind of kicked off at like a slight angle just looks so cool because it's not all straight and perfect. Like that little slant just looks so cool. That, just this alone was just super like appealing. It looks like artwork. It really does. And the Athlete G and the Athlete V, of course, came with like the body kits. So you have, which there's a fellow Crown owner, he has a Royal Saloon, and it just looks more grandpa. Grandpa, just very old man cruiser, which is totally fine. They're cool. But these ones actually have like, you know, the lip and the side skirts and the rear lip and diffuser, whatever. And I actually installed a wing on it, and my goodness, it looks so cool. So that was just like the cool thing with the Crown, is they're just very unique wagons, just kind of classic mixed with just, yeah, just very cool looking. And I lowered it, and it already had wheels on it when I got it from Japan, which they look like Mercedes wheels. So it kind of looks like a Mercedes if you're not, paying attention to what it is. You're like, oh, cool Mercedes. Oh, shoot, no, what? Toyota? Actually, it's like, what is that? A Crown? What the heck is that? So yeah, just such a cool car. And now the differences in between the Stagea and the Crown, obviously, is this one was just I think, built way more for comfort. It is very comfortable inside. It rides very comfortable versus a Stagea being more sporty. It's just, not as plush as like a Toyota Crown. So if you're looking for a wagon, I mean, there's obviously more options than the Toyota Crown and a Nissan Stagea, but the Stagea is definitely going to be a more sporty option, and your Crown is going to be that like luxury kind of sporty option. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. And the great thing about the Toyota Crown is it did come with the 1JZ turbocharged, and that would be the Athlete V. So this is the Athlete G, naturally aspirated 3.0 liter 2JZ inline six, and then the Athlete V was a 2.5 liter, I believe the 1JZ inline six as well, VVTI. I think they're both VVTI. They're very powerful engines. I mean, it feels like you're driving a V8, maybe just because the hood and everything's so big, you could fit a V8 in here very easily, but just very powerful in comparison to K cars. Slow down. I know these aren't nothing compared to what stuff we have here, but if we're going from K cars to this is like a Lamborghini. But yeah, so that's kind of the Crown. Let's talk about the Stagea. So the Stagea, like I said, it's more of a sporty sports car. Like, the suspension feels different. The interior is much different. It is not as comfortable as the Crown. Like, let's put it in aspects of driving across the United States. If you're driving across the United States, this is going to be way more comfortable than the Stagea, but I think the Stagea is going to be way more fun just because turbo, all-wheel drive, like, this thing gets up and boogies. But yeah, this thing will get up and scoot. And so that's another thing with the Stagias. There's different body styles, just like the Crowns had different body styles. The Stagias, this is an RS4. I mean, they have RS4s, but there were changes in the body styles from the RS4. I could be wrong. I'm still kind of obviously learning about Stagias. This might be a Prime Edition, or it has the DAYZ aero kit. So the front lip is different. The fog lights are different. The headlights are different than some other Stages. So that's one thing that you'll notice. No offense to the other Stages, I just am a huge fan of the way this one looks versus the other body. Plus, the taillights are just clear and red versus red and amber. Like, it just looks more of a normal car versus, the red and clear, which is also cool that this one, being the Athlete G, has red and clear taillights as well. I'll show that in the back. But it was just, there were subtle little differences in the body, although they had the same engine. I think it was the Neo 6. I mean, my Neo 6 has a cover on it and the other ones don't. I'm not entirely sure what the Neo 6 stands for, but I mean, it's still an RB25 DET. There's just like some differences in the way the engine is a little bit. I think these ones have a slightly bigger throttle body. I have to kind of look into that stuff a little more, but this one though is what I'm a huge fan of, because you got the huge lips. The intercooler is right behind this grill here. You got the fog lights, and then you have the high beams in the grill here, and you have your other fog lights. Those are fog lights, and then you have a switch inside, and you can switch over to the lower fog lights. And these also have a rear fog light, which is really cool. So if you ever drive around and you see that idiot that looks like he's got his brake lights on all the time and he's driving with 3 feet or 2 feet, I should say 3 feet. If you're driving around with 2 feet and 1 foot's on the brake pedal and 1 foot's on the gas, that's kind of what these look like, because it's got the really, really bright rear tail light that just stays bright all the time for a rear fog light, which is really cool because it certainly gets your attention. Yeah, so let's kind of go over get closer and you guys can see what's going on. Okay, so let's do a little walk around. So the Athlete G has that little front lip. You got the lower fog lights, and these actually came with HIDs. I need to clean up my lenses. They're a little yellow, but they got HIDs. But it's really funny because I don't know if this was a factory thing, but you got your HID here, and you would assume your high beam is there, but there's no bulb. So I couldn't figure out why high beam wasn't working. There's no bulb, there's no harness, there's nothing. So I don't know if the high beams just didn't come in these, or this guy took them out. I'm not sure what the story is, but yeah, I mean, the HIDs are super, super bright, but these headlights are different. They're round, which kind of mimics a Mercedes a little bit versus the other Toyota Crowns. Estates. I didn't say estate. If I didn't say estate, it's a Toyota Crown Estate. And these are the wheels that it came over with. And I mean, just the detail that Toyota put into these is just crazy. I mean, they followed the chrome in the window visors. Like, I don't know if anybody else does that. Like, you have window visors on other stuff and it's just plastic and they throw it up there, right? Tinted plastic. It was like Toyota went and did the chrome in it so it matches all the other chrome. Like, Toyota always kills it with stuff. It's just crazy the detail they go into. It's got heated mirrors. They fold in, red and clear taillights, so they don't have red and yellow, just an amber bulb in there. But it's just kind of neat because it's red and clear. There's no yellow lenses anywhere. So here's the Athlete G, and obviously there's an Athlete V, Crown Estate. And I did find a wing that was made in Japan for the Crown. Typically, I think the V's came with the wing, so obviously mine didn't. And I love wings on all my cars if I can get them. And so, sure enough, I got this one paint matched, and it just looks so good with the wing on the wagon. It just changes the look like entirely. It just looks really fast. So let's open up the back. We got our big state mat in the back. We got a luggage air purifier, so I can control. There's a switch up front that turns that on, purifies the air, whatever. We got our tonneau cover, very cool, comes out. All these seats fold down, so it's just like a giant flatbed back here. Got a subwoofer, and yeah, spare tire under there. Nothing crazy, but the cool thing about these is they're all soft close, so you can just put it down, sucks it in. You don't have to slam it. You just be like, hey, just set it down. Don't have to slam it. So that's very cool. Let's see what else we got. So here's the interior. So some came with black wood, some came with brown wood, some came with cloth. This one came with like tan leather and brown wood. I do like the black wood. The black wood's pretty slick looking. The keys are very cool. The Crown logo on it. And the button inside the key still works. So the difference is this one has a slightly different shifter where we can manual shift. So there's our buttons on the steering wheel. Our navigation, we got Crown, our 6-disc CD changer and tape player. Since it has navigation, this little doohickeys where you load the DVDs to install the navigation. I thought it was maybe a DVD player. That would have been really cool, but it's just for navigation. And we got the swinging vents, so when you start it, you can push swing and the vents do that cool swinging thing that you'll see in some, I think a lot of Lexuses and older Toyotas did that. We got the sunroof, and that's what's cool about the Stagea. Stagea has 2 sunroofs. Just these, you can put the crossbar across here. I'm guessing to hang curtain or hang clothes on or something. So that goes out. The seats, this is really cool too. So the passengers can change their seat, angle, make it a little more comfortable back here. I didn't even realize that until the fellow Crown owner came over here and he's like, oh, you got these? And I was like, oh, yeah, I guess I do have those. But yeah, this thing is really cool. Everything just feels very, very JDM technology because, like I said, I never had a car that had all these little cool motorized stuff. There is our air purifier. Yeah, so I really like the Crown. It's very comfortable. But we got traction control, we got our electronic controlled transmission, power or snow. We got a dual rest, so we got a cool CD in there. So that one opens, and then you can open the top one. Yeah, just this car is great. I like it. Engine. I'm trying to use my mic here too. I'm trying to do something different, but it's a little hard. Oh, hey, what's up, Grasshopper? Okay, so here is our 2 JZ, bro. How many JZs you got in that thing? Yeah, it's covered by plastic, so you can't really see it, but just your inline 6 air filter. Put a new serpentine belt on it. I did lower it, like I said, so I dropped it a good 1.5 inches, I think. I used the white zoom down springs. Those are typically what I use on all my my K cars are the white zooms because they usually lower it pretty good, and I don't compromise a whole lot of ride. But yeah, cool. That is the Toyota Crown. So let's look at the Nissan Stagea, the Stag. She looks fast. So obviously I had to put the glow plates on the on the wagons, of course. But yeah, I did a few things since I've owned it. I put like the eyelids on the headlights. That just looks a little bit meaner. Man, that front end looks so cool. So yeah, like I was saying, you got lower fogs, the circles, you got the bumper fogs, and there's a switch inside where you can switch, between them. You have HIDs, which you have a switch inside that you can change the angle of where they're pointing, which is really cool. So you can point them up high, point them down low, and they're extremely bright. I put some yellow hella horns in there. It looks pretty cool. So RS4, that's where our intercooler is. Big pocket right there. Yeah, I've done quite a bit to this one as well. I just did new front rotors and pads. I got to work on the back ones here next. But I did new tires, which these are 19s, I think. No, 17s. But they definitely fill in the wheel well. They put spacers on it in Japan, so it really pushes them out, which is cool. Because most of the time they're kind of sucked in. So these kind of really fill in the wheel well, so it just looks really good. Gives it a little bit wider stance. I mean, these ones have the mirrors that roll in too, which is really cool. Nismo actually made the blacked out kind of tinted markers, so I got those from Japan, Nissan, which is really cool. So they were making cool stuff for these things for sure. I mean, let's just say, yeah, I didn't pay a whole lot for them, but they're not in the greatest shape, but the engines run strong. I fixed the oil leak on the Stagea. It was actually the crank, and the cam seals were leaking pretty bad. So, I mean, replaced those, parked it on concrete, no puddles of oil. So that was exciting. But they got their little dings. I mean, they did their crummy paint match there. We got some scratches up on the front lip. I mean, kind of to be expected for a 25-plus-year-old car with, these kind of lips. If you're driving it all the time, you're bound to hit something, unfortunately. But yeah, I believe this is the DAYZ kit. I could be wrong, but from looking at stuff, the DAYZ kit had the side skirts. It's got the rear bumper that have these pockets that go inward. They're not open, but it just gives it that cool race effect. Our red and clear taillights. Here's our rear fog light. So instead of having two reverse lamps, we got one with that rear fog light. Of course, we got our hibiscus flowers. Gotta have those. I mean, even having this chrome handle is different. And the smoked out, or that black chrome. Did a wiper delete. She or he or whoever that is put a little gem in there. Looks kind of cool. But the thing I love the best about this thing is the wing. I mean, it's like a shelf. It's massive. It just looks so cool. I mean, just the back end, it just looks fast. Nissan had some really cool cars they came out with. Their build quality, I don't think, is the greatest, but they had some really cool cars, like the Silvias and obviously the Skylines and the Cedrics and the Glorias. They had some, and the President. They had some really, really cool cars. I just think their execution of building them wasn't the best. I've seen some weird stuff. It's whoa, what's going on here? And then we have our visors, which is kind of a bummer because I would like to replace them, but they're huge, and I can only imagine trying to ship those from Japan and then making it here in one piece. That's got to be kind of difficult. They're just so big. But yeah, this one was obviously lowered. It had aftermarket suspension when I got it. So I'll have about that. One last thing I got to do. Actually has a Nissan. What muffler is that? Yeah, so it's got a Nissan Sport muffler. It's pretty big. I mean, it's a good size muffler, and it sounds incredible. I actually did a cat delete, so it has a little more pop at certain points when it's downshifting. It'll get a good pop when you let off the gas, which is cool. I put the crossbars on so we can take this up to go skiing and stuff, being it's all-wheel drive, and you can lock the diff on this thing, and yeah, there's our 2 sunroofs, which is really cool. The cool black chrome Stags. It's very cool. Let's take a look on the inside. So I love the interior. It looks like someone barfed all over the seats. Just scribbles. This cool armrest was wrapped in this like lacy flower pattern. Gotta have the chopsticks down there. So the difference between this one and other Stages is it has manual shifting as well, so you can shift through the gears. I mean, big deal, but that's a little cool because this is, you know, it's slightly different. Sorry, I wasn't talking in the mic there. There is our adjustment for the headlights to go up and down, which is really cool. There is our switch between, where'd we go? There's our switch between, yeah, that's sunlight. Between fog lights, between the bumper and the lowers, which is really cool. I put a turbo timer in here from HKS. So I was kind of plug and play, plug it in. So now it's on a turbo timer, which is crazy. It didn't have a turbo timer in Japan. That's just wild. I would think you'd want to have a turbo timer in all your turbos. But that's just me. Funny story. When I got this thing, the navigation screen and everything was broken. And I just was randomly looking in Yahoo Auctions and found a new one. And thank goodness, because I have not seen one since. And that thing controls your air, your everything. So I had no air control in here whatsoever. And it was hot. This was summertime. No AC, nothing. And the one time I went and looked, I bought it instantly. And it fixed it. We got air control now. And now that I go back on there just to kind of look for a backup, I don't see them anymore. So that sucker cost me $300 and it was totally worth it. If yours is broken, just check auctions constantly because they're very, very hard to come by. But yeah, navigation in there, and you can put a CD. They got a CD player in here. We got, you know, transmission control for snow. We can use the power supply up here, which is kind of cool. So I could plug in my PlayStation from Japan. I put a new cabin filter in here, which actually shares the cabin filter with the Nissan Stagea, which is kind of cool. Moon Eyes dice, black Hello Kitty to match the black. I'm kind of go with the black and yellow theme. That's why I got the yellow horns. But yeah, I mean, the interior in this thing is just very, very basic. So like I said, it's not as comfortable. And the white gauges, which is really, really cool. I love this car so much. I definitely have fallen in love with the Stagea. I have a very, very much love-hate relationship with this car. Here's our back. Cool Stagea logo and the floor mats. These all fold down. So if you come back here again, this is another soft close, which is cool. I actually found a car cover for it online, so that's neat. But the tonneau cover, which is awesome. We got like this air purifier in the back with this cool little like light that comes down. So cool. That was a factory option too. Like I went on the parts diagrams and I found one and I tried to order a replacement because it's broken or the grill's broken. That would be cool if they still had these, but yeah, air purifier. And then you pull these handles down and then the seats will pop down. But some Stages have like a mat that goes under here. And it's like a picture of like a picture of some like horseshoes. And that sucker goes for a lot of money. So I'm trying to find that. I'm not entirely sure what the story is on it, but they're very, very expensive. And I would like to try to find one that isn't $700 on Yahoo Auctions. It's crazy. Then you got the cool net. So maybe you got a dog. Pull the net down and your dog can hang out back here and not jump over the seats. It's kind of cool. It also, too, has the soft close. Yeah, these are the... Oh, yeah, we didn't look at the engine. Let's look at the engine real quick. Yeah, so here we go with the Neo 6 2.5 liter RB25 DET. So I got a nice little blow off on it, so that's fun. I mean, it's loud. It hurts your ears if you're in here making it go off. Yeah, I just kind of done some stuff, put new battery in it, all new hoses, new timing covers, everything when I did the timing belt service on here. I got a cool Gates timing belt. It's like blue, pretty slick, although you can't see it. Maybe if you did the clear cover. But yeah, I did all new covers, new seals, everything I could replace, just to kind of, just kind of make the engine look good again. And obviously eliminate the leaks from the cam and the crank seals. That was leaking pretty bad. My fan was extremely cracked, so I got a new fan so that I don't have to worry about that thing grenading. They came with the cool strut stabilizer bars, strut tower bars, whatever you want to call them. New fuel filter. I got a bunch of new fuel pressure regulators and diaphragms and deals, so I'll put those on eventually, because it's a 98, and just like the K cars, stuff is just going extinct. So if it looks like it might cause issues if it stops working in the future, might as well just replace it. Got my HKS radiator cap. But yeah, this car is just so much fun. So much fun. I love this car. And it's hot because it's black. It is super hot. But yeah, those are my two latest purchases from Japan. I mean, besides my walkthrough, my mirror walkthrough, of course. That thing is super cool. I got to do wheel bearings on it though, so I haven't been driving it because I'm afraid it's going to break. But other than that, these were the ones I just imported. I just haven't made a video on them. Super happy with them. I mean, I'm so happy with them. I may have got another Stagea coming. We'll see. But I love these cars. I love a good wagon. They're just the coolest. So I guess if you're looking for a wagon, maybe this video might help you out a little bit on making a decision. I mean, if I could do it again, I would go for the Athlete V on the Toyota Crown Estate Athlete. But those are usually pretty expensive to get. And obviously I didn't want to spend a whole lot of money on a car didn't know anything about. But the Athlete V would be really cool because it's obviously turbocharged, very fast, just like the Stagea. But cool, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. If you got questions, reach out, check out my website. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff if you'd like to. Obviously, I'm doing work with K-cars all the time. I just thought I'd do something a little different with the wagons. I love a good wagon, man. That's sexy. All right, cool. It's going to be a hot one today, so stay cool, guys. I'll see you on the next one.